Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. For Kenyon Drake. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And bulldozing his way through. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. An early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Stafford. And got a man. It's Woods. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw, Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Woods. 13 yards there offset some of the penalty yardage as it's second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On second down, it's Drake. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, DeShaun Watson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Watson. And his first pass is incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Reset. Two jets.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. A beautiful spin and room to run. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 22 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Woods. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now a handoff for Dre, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That pick is 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. But the 9 picks,
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Reset.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And some room to work. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the first round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. But what I like most about him is versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety. And a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Drake. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Carpenter. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st down, Drake. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Looking outside him, he's got a man. It's Carpenter. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So out now come the Lions. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They begin with a run by Barkley. Spinning past him. Space to maneuver at the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. They go play action here on first down. He'll buy some time right, letting one go deep for the end zone. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at 2nd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Richmond. Come back.
Watson off play action. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And Zerline's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. Yeah, he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on second down. Stafford. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Running, it's Drake. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Richmond! Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back! Richmond! Come back! Come back! Tiger!
Watson on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Tiger!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Come back! Tiger!
On first down, it's Watson. And this is incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
Down! Green the line! Two jet! Tiger!
Back to the air, Watson on second down. He's going to fire one deep up, and takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Richmond.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Frank Clark able to drop him for a loss of 4.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Come back.
Out of the gun, Watson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create?
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are a 2-point conversion away from tying this game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. A 10-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. He dumps it off to Drake. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford, middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's Stafford, and that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now here's Ross. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he'll have to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, turning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal on third down. These guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Stafford looks to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Edwards. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Again, it's Stafford. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing again is Stafford. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. And Myers able to knock it through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Zerline now for the PAT. Zerline good with a PAT, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start our tour out in the city of Angels, Los Angeles. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. 31-7, the final score. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Andy Dalton, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Returning it, John Ross. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They start the second half with Michel on the ground and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Michel, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Watson on 3rd down. He's airing it out for Williams. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And some space here. Oh, a good move at the 5. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They come out here in the eye. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Sony Michel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 26. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Reset.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Switch. Richmond. Come back.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run with Drake, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Detroit getting set to go now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I bet you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 33 and a first.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. A shotgun snap for Watson. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, trying to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On first down, Stafford here. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9.
Stay 50, stay 50. Set, waiting.
Throwing is Stafford. Steps away to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
They go play action here on first down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Set, waiting.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carpenter. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Set, waiting.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Stafford now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Now Drake, and he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He goes underneath to Drake. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now Stafford, he dumps it off to Drake. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another. First down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To the air again, Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
This is fielded at the goal line. Look at the spin. Oh, he did it again. And he's going to take this all the way down to the 40-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Watson on first down. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Watson now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. give. This is Michelle. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
To throw on second is Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Lions on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Watson. That is caught at the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Hey, who ready? Who ready?
Here's Watson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeShaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame. And the Lions add on to their lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. He's got it to James White. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Forced out to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, here's Stafford. This is caught. And he's brought down. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. They'll come out in the pistol. A handoff out of the pistol. It's Drake. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robert Woods with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Richmond! Come back! Richmond! Tiger! Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Lions on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Tiger. Come back.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now it's Stafford. Goes underneath here to White. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. First down now, but that clock rolling. Stafford. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. And a dump off to White. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. Now Stafford. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So the clock shows 55 seconds to play as they line up for a critical onside kick. And this will be covered up by the Lions, and that might just about seal the deal. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now they try the right side here. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Throwing now, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
All I know, partner, is that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
And Charles, in this one, the 4th quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.
So for Detroit, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.